What are you willing to sacrifice for true love? I think true love is a beautiful thing. And whether it's between a man and a woman that allows God to be in their relationship, or a relationship between God and man, or whether it's family love, whatever type of love it is, true love is a beautiful thing. And I believe that it deserves sacrifice. We see in Romans 12:1, it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is our reasonable service. God has shown us the ultimate true love, and He requires us to make certain sacrifices, particularly as it relates to His will versus our will. I recently had an experience with my family where I had to decide before speaking to them whether I would obey my family, my parents, or obey my convictions and what God has shown me and has been showing me over the period of some years. My recent conviction to do missionary training to Paul's University, which I am training to be a minister, which is basically like missionary training, as some would say, to do another missionary program for 1 year and also to be a missionary for that year. It was a tough decision, and I spoke to my parents, and I'll tell you the result of what I did when I spoke to them. I'll let you see the video. January 15th, 2017. I do not think this will be a day that I will forget. It is a benchmark date in my life and ministry. You know, this is the day that I really decided to step out on faith. And you know, I spoke to my parents tonight about my recent convictions that the Lord has been impressing me about. And I must say it's been very tough. It wasn't an easy thing for me to do. Currently I am a junior studying theology, and this would be my 4th year in school. I could have finished in 2017 August, but I'm already set back. So I can understand, you know, the pressure that my parents would be experiencing. You know, if I come to them and tell them, hey, I want to take a year off before my final year, I understand fully. But you know, I'm privileged, and I'm still humble, and I'm still grateful, despite the fact that, you know, all of my family members that I expressed my desire to were not receptive to it. I did receive opposition, but guess what? I am still grateful, you know, that God has impressed me so deeply, and He's assured me so much that I am really not concerned about that, honestly. I know that He wants me to be there, and I will continue to press on and to follow my convictions. And you really can't go wrong with your convictions. That's the thing about conviction. Persons may think you're stupid, may think you're unwise, may think what you're going through is just emotional. This is beyond emotions. The Lord has proven Himself to me over and over again, and this is something that I'm deeply convicted of. Whether the Lord, you know, decides that He wants, you know, to separate me from certain family members for a period in order to do His will or not, I'm very much open to that. So there it is. A lot of my friends asked me this week, so what are you going to do? What is the decision, you know? And I just answered them simply, I'm going to do what God asked me to do. I'm going to follow my convictions. until God tells me otherwise. And the reality of making sacrifices and being obedient to God is this: you're not going to please everyone when you're pleasing God. When you make sacrifices for God, there are going to be some people who may get disappointed or upset in the process, because God's plan for your life is not always what your family, your friends, your boyfriend or your girlfriend may have in plan. Sacrificing to God may mean separation from persons. It may mean some relationships may be dissolved, whether temporarily or permanently. God tested Abraham's faith by testing him to sacrifice his only son. God gave him the son after having a barren wife for years. And now he's getting up in age now, and God asked him to sacrifice his only son. And he passed that test. He was willing to make that ultimate sacrifice, to sacrifice what he loved most. And God blessed him and rewarded him and made a great nation out of him. He was worrying about everything. He was worrying about, my future, my seed, my name being carried on. He had everything to lose, but yet still he was willing to sacrifice. And sometimes family, friends, church, those people that you love the most are your greatest hindrances from making sacrifices and doing what God asks you to do. It's a reality. And we must let nothing come between our soul and our Savior, as the song says. So if there's anything hindering us from doing God's will, we have to be willing to make that sacrifice. God will reward us. And if we lose any friends, family, or anything on that path, I'm sure that God is able to restore that relationship in the future to do His will. Right after, speaking to my parents, the next night the Lord can affirm me with a message from my brother Johnny. And he preached a message about separation. And the message was focused on one of Paul's journey, and how he started off with another missionary and later he separated with them. Paul was disappointed, he was sad. Yet still, Paul realized that the separation was for the will of God. And sometimes God needs us to separate ourselves for some periods in order to fulfill His will and His purpose for our lives. Oftentimes the noise of everyone else speaking to you and everyone's opinions crowd God's voice, and He needs to separate us so that we can hear what He has to say for us personally. And this is a personal connection with God. If you look at the sacrifices in the Bible, look at the offering of the sacrifices, right? You notice that there's only one lamb at a time. So I never saw this until this morning. And I saw where, the lamb goes up by itself, as if, it doesn't even, it's clueless to whether or not it's going to be slaughtered. And it goes alone. And it just allows itself to be slaughtered, as if it was nothing. Now we are more knowledgeable than a lamb. We are smarter than lambs. Yet still God is asking us to humble ourselves and to pretend as if we don't even know or understand the implications of what may happen if we obey Him. But guess what? The truth is, we don't know. What we do know and what we are assured of is that God will bless us and reward us for our willingness to sacrifice to Him. And in the way He blesses us, we may not see it right away. It may not be clear. It may look as if your situation is going to get worse, but it can only get better if you serve God and if you make sacrifices for Him. Even